Hello everybody and welcome to Sunday and the second of two races for Porsche Carrera Cup North America here at Road America, celebrating another great year of Porsche Carrera Cup here in the United States. My name's John Hindhaugh. Peter Mackay is joining me. Just over halfway through the season with 28 flat six normally aspirated Porsche 4 litres sitting on the pit lane at the moment. What's the challenge this weekend? Well, we're in Wisconsin, an hour and a half or so north of Milwaukee, at the 14th corner, just over 4 miles around Road America, which snakes its way through the natural terrain here at Road America, just outside Elkhart Lake. Lovely little town, just a couple of 3 miles down the road. Turn 1 is very quick, downhill to turn 5, overtaking spot there for sure. Turn 8 possibly, Canada corner yes, and maybe an opportunity to outdrag someone from turn 14 up the hill to the start finish line. Championship closing right up after yesterday's races. Cars on the track. Let's have a quick reminder of what happened yesterday in race 1. As far as the race win was concerned, it was all about the start. Riley Dickinson on the front row, but didn't get the start, and it was the red, white and black number 2, Jimmy Libre, who got the run over Tyler Maxson and went too wide round the first corner under the Arians Bridge down towards turn 3. All the action then happened behind, with the problem for De Quesada and Matt Least coming together at turn 5. Riley Dickinson then fighting his way back around the outside of Jared Thomas, but he went off the track there, and on the next straight looked like he lifted off and let the JTR driver back in that red and white Chevron car. By the time we got to the checkered flag, it was all about Jimmy Libre winning overall and in the pro class. JP Martinez took another win in Pro-Am, stretches his championship lead, and Todd Parriott came home in the lead of the Peter Atwater, coming home in the lead of the Masters category in the green and white car. That was yesterday, Peter. What about today? Riley Dickinson needs to get back into his groove, the groove he had at the start of the season, because the championship, which was close yesterday, is even closer today.
Just 5 points between them now, so very, very tight in the ExxonMobil Pro class. And yeah, Riley, this is a very important race for Riley Dickinson, because he really needs to grab control of this championship again. He starts on the front row of the grid, and Tyler Maxson, who's going to start from pole position again, had a really difficult start yesterday and lost a lot of positions at the start. So whether that'll happen again, I don't know, but Dickinson has got a great opportunity here to try and get some clean air in front of him and get into that groove. And when he's in that groove, he's fairly unstoppable.
As far as the grid lineup is concerned, Michael Oriema for Nola Sport and City Marines, Javier Ripoll on the back row. Then it's Brandy Behrman and Alex Pratt with Scott Blinn and Todd Parriott, Wesley Slimpton, Richard Edge, Rob Walker and Peter Atwater. Peter on pole position in the Masters. Alex Ryman, Michael McCann, Alan Metney and JP Martinez. JP on the Pro and pole position. Maddie Stewart, John Jodwan, Sabra Cook, Paul Bacuse. And in the top 10, Matthias Leitz, Michael De Quesada, Yves Baltas, Jared Thomas. The top 3 rows, Aaron Johnson, the second best of the rookies, Zach Vanier. And then the front 2 rows, Jimmy Libre, yesterday's winner, and Ryan Yardley on row 2, with Riley Dickinson and Tyler Maxson on pole position again for top racing. Tyler, the best of the rookies. That's how they line up. 40 minutes on the clock. Let's hear those flat sixes roar, and a great start, catching Riley Dickinson unawares again. And it's Tyler Maxson who goes to the lead, immediately dropping into 3rd place and following the faster 2 cars on the inside to Riley Dickinson. But Ryan Yardley's gone through into 2nd. Jimmy Lieber in the red, white and black car following Riley Dickinson in the green and white car. Also coming down the outside is Zach Vanier. Everybody's negotiated, not everybody has negotiated turn number 1, I'm afraid. Rob Walker in the 53 Herbie coloured car with damage at the exit of turn 1, but he has got going again. Michael De Quesada, after that incident yesterday, did not start this morning after that incident at this part of the track at turn 5. But once again, uncharacteristically, Peter Mackay, Riley Dickinson absolutely not reading the start of the race as side-by-side action sees Zach Vanier off the circuit as he went side-by-side with, I think it was Aaron Johnson there, and we've got more incident, and that's Todd Parriott in the number 13 Kelly Moss racing car, and that's going to bring out a full course yellow down at the bottom of turn, is that turn 5? I think it might be. So an early full course yellow, just when I was thinking we were going to settle in for some racing. Peter Mackay. It's turn 6, actually.
That's not good for Todd Parriott at all. The closest contender to Scott Blind in the Solaris Masters Championship. And that car doesn't look like it's going any further. The comic book livery on there.
Oh, he got help.
Vroom, he got a lot of help. Now, who did he get help by? Because Scott Blind was in the mix there.
I think it was Richard Edge. Was it Richard Edge in the blue car?
Hard to tell on first glance, but what a shame for Todd Parriott there. Yeah, the blue car with yellow flashes. Richard Edge, yes, great spot, John. Yeah.
My old eyes did not deceive me. ACI Motorsports car. That will be getting looked at race control. Such a difficult braking point there because it's coming in right to the top of the brow of the hill there. And you do have to drag some speed down. Good news is Todd is out of the car, uninjured, but I don't think he's very happy from his body language. The MR52 crew very quickly on the scene, and he's going to leave one Porsche and get into another. Now, this is good news in some respects for Rob Walker, because he's going to get to come into the pits and have his JTR Motorsport Engineering Group, that's Jared Thomas, have a look at that off-white, red, white and blue car, and he hasn't yet lost a lap, so he might be able to get back onto the end of the safety car train. The safety car's only down at turn 5, so they've got a wee bit of time if they can make some remedial work on that car. They're looking at the right front of that car. That's a very clever livery, that, the way it catches the light in different places and looks slightly different colours on that slightly off-white colourway. What I want to know, Peter, and I haven't asked them yet. Oh, I see. He's lost that important piece of rubber that goes underneath the front of the splitter, and it's got caught in amongst the front double wishbone front suspension. I think they're going to have to take the wheel off to get that off. What I want to know with Rob, and I've never asked him about this, but maybe somebody at JTR who's listening can let me know. Did the 53 come before the livery, or was it once he found out he was going to be 53, he decided on the livery? Or did he that's the question for me that needs answering.
I think they're one and the same. Surely, if you're going to run a Herbie livery, you've got to have 53. And if you don't get 53, you're not going to be able to run it.
No.
Because that is the Herbie number. Likewise, if you're going to run 59, you've got to run Brumos colours.
I'd agree.
There's lots of things like that. And unfortunately, that comic book strip, it's less vroom and more splat or kapow or bam or something like that, unfortunately, for Todd Parriott.
Cathud. Yes. Perhaps. Very...
ouch.
Very bad man, yes, ouch. They have got a new splitter in front of that car, and they get him out, run him around behind the safety car, then bring him back in again. They'll have about another 4 minutes to put that car on. We're still recovering the machine. It's just well, that's brand new. It's still got the tags on it. It's just a piece of rubber that is an interference fit on the leading edge of the front splitter. But down through the years, in all iterations of Porsche Carrera Cup around the world, and trust me, I have seen a lot of races, that is the most important piece of aerodynamics on the car. If you don't have that, then the front end just doesn't want to turn, and all that happens is you scrub off your front Yokohama tyres.
You think all the money that goes into wind tunnel testing, etc., and Porsche have used both. They've used a variety of wind tunnels over the years. They now have their own one. They got their own one for the first time in the mid '80s. But before that, it was the Stuttgart University they used. And they used also the Volkswagen wind tunnel Wolfsburg. But actually less known is that they've used the Dallara wind tunnel over the years as well, particularly with a car that was very, very good around here was the RS Spider. That was in conjunction with Dallara and their
Was that a Dallara tub though? Was that a Dallara chassis?
No. Carbotech was the company that made the tub.
That's right, yes.
From Austria, yeah. But the aero design of the Evo car was a guy called Michael Fadnauer, who came in from Audi and worked with Dr. Dialma Zanelli, who still works at Dallara. But yeah, so you think all that fancy wind tunnel work and a piece of rubber on the front of the car makes all the difference.
I honestly don't even think there is a bolt or a screw or a clip. He's just about to lose a lap, I think. Yes, he is. They have replaced that, and they're waiting for the rest of the field to go through, so any chance of a decent win for Rob Walker, a decent result for Rob Walker, was over at the first corner, I'm afraid. Whether they'll send him out, he's still 5th in the Masters and 4th of the Masters rookies. Scott Blind and Richard Edge aren't rookies in the Masters this year. And Todd Parriott, I should say. That's a nice piece of recovery there. See what they've done. They've used the recovery vehicle with the crane arm to lift Todd Parriott's car up, all 4 wheels off the ground, and then basically brought the truck in behind it. So they haven't had to try and roll that car back on to the rollback. That's a nice piece of work. Beautiful weather this Sunday. 73 in the air, 97 Fahrenheit on the track. That's 23 Celsius in the air, 36 Celsius on the track. And that will do nicely. Still with our feature race to come, the Motul Sports Car Grand Prix. New partnership with Motul for Road America, and it looks like Rob Walker is going to be sent. Very famous name, Rob Walker, in motor racing. If you go back particularly to sports cars and single-seaters in the 1960s. Now, is that white number 53 going back onto the track, or are they told him to put it into the paddock? We'll find out in a couple of seconds. I think he's going out onto the track. He's coming up to the end of the pit lane. No, he's going to the paddock. I wondered why they hadn't sent him there. So it's an early bath for Rob. He'll not be happy with that. So we are down to 25 cars running. Tyler Maxson still leading, and the safety car just going into the carousel, Peter. Let's just run through that championship standings, those championship standings, with the 2 top cars leading. Tyler Maxson from Ryan Yardley, and then Riley Dickinson. Riley Dickinson, who bossed the first part of the season, has seen his championship lead eroded in the last couple of events.
Yes, he has. I mean, a lot of it comes down to the big incident at Watkins Glen, which took several cars out. Riley Dickinson only scoring 7 points at Watkins Glen in the second race. The other race, well, the race weekend, which didn't go his way, was Miami, of course, where he qualified on pole, but the car was sent to the back for both races because of a technical infraction. So when you look out with those, it's total dominance, but it's not started off in dominant way at all. That was not a good race start there for Riley Dickinson to his very high standards, and lost a position, but crucially a position to his main championship rival, Ryan Yardley.
Yeah, it was Richard Edge for ACI confirmed in that number 18 blue car that was involved. That is going to be reviewed post-session. Sent Todd Parriott into the wall at turn 6. Also, the incident with the number 53 car, Rob Walker, who's now behind the wall. We're back to green. Tyler Maxson has the advantage of choosing when to accelerate. He takes it about 2/3 of the way round turn 14. That has been the sweet spot on all of the restarts in the differing classes that we've had here at Road America this weekend. And it is Ryan Yardley behind his teammate who's got the better of the starts, I think. It's closed in just a little bit. Riley Dickinson having to defend there from the JDX car of Zach Vanier as they head down quite steeply down the hill to turn number 3. Also right in there, Jimmy Libre, buoyed by his first win of the season yesterday for ACI Motorsports. So 2 top racing cars, Kelly Moss, JDX, ACI, and Jared Thomas in 6th place for JTR Motorsports Engineering. He's moved up through the field in that number 96 car, the distinctive chevron colours that have graced many racing cars down through the years in IndyCar, Formula 1, and indeed in sports car racing, and with a bit of Porsche heritage there as well. It's a livery that he brought across from his Mazda racing days. Debuted at, I think, just over a season ago, actually, at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. He kept it very, very quiet. We'd seen the pictures on the commentary team and were sworn to secrecy. Nice to see the nod to the past there by Jared Thomas.
Yeah, there's a great Porsche link as well. Of course, Porsche, well, 2 things that pop to mind. One is the TAG Turbo engine, which Porsche built and developed for McLaren in the mid-1980s, of course ran those colours. And then, as we mentioned yesterday, the Porsche 911 GT1 Evo, which ran in those colours in the late 90s as well. There's always chapters of history to dig into with Porsche. In the Pro-Am class, on that restart, there's lots of side-by-side battling between JP Martinez and Alan Metney. Metney showed a nose into turn 1, but JP Martinez has just held him off for now. But that is your battle, not only for this race win in the Pro-Am class, in the Cereros Pro-Am class, but also in the championship as well.
Yeah, the GT 197 LM Evo ran in those colours. I remember it very, very well indeed. A couple of rally cars have run in those colours for Porsche as well, 911 rally cars. Yes, 911s have been rally cars. Very successful. I was going to say,
in fact, this very generation, the 992 has been, there's now 10 Rally GT 992 chassis out there. It's not a factory build, but they are seeking FIA homologation, I understand.
That'd be brilliant.
It would be very cool.
To get yes. Back. Yes, absolutely. So, still plenty of racing to go here with just over 26 minutes. It's settling down at the front of the field with the first, 10 or so, just splitting away. The battle at the moment, side by side, and coming through there is Michael McCann going past Sabra Cook, but going deep into turn 5. Sabra has a look back up the inside in the light blue and white car. That's the battle for 12th and 13th.
I think that's John Jodwine, who's just ahead of Sabra Cook.
Yes, you're right.
Sabra Cook in the blue and yellow Priva car.
Right.
Yeah, it's just so tight in the middle there, though, isn't it? It's so the mid-pack is brutal in this championship because everybody is in a very similar window of pace, and it's therefore difficult to make moves up and down, and it does get pretty heavy hand-to-hand combat sometimes. But this is much more like it from Tyler Maxson. It was quite a bizarre start to the race for him yesterday, from pole all the way back to 6th or 7th in the opening laps. But this is more like it after putting that car on pole, holding off Ryan Yardley very well. Yeah, the number 8 car we were watching there was indeed Michael McCann in the all red car. He's made up a couple of positions on this lap, so now sits in 11th place and is the first of the chasing group. Aaron Johnson is the 10th car in that lead train, which is a second, maybe a second and a half ahead of Michael McCann, who's decided that he wants to be part of that battle, and he now has to try and bridge that gap.
over to the top 10. Somebody diving to the inside there.
Matches least into the pits.
Did he pit? I think
yes,
Tyler Maxon's in the pits.
No, he isn't.
No, he's not. It is Matthias Leeds. Tyler Maxon's put the fastest lap of the race in. Just a misread of the timing screen by me. Apologies for that. So problems for the number 47, or has he been given a drive-through? The Nola Sport machine in the pit lane at the moment. No, he's stopping at his pits. There's a warning for the incident responsibility with the number 4 car earlier on, JP Martinez, for Alan Metney. Those two are battling in Pro-Am in 13th and 14th position, first and second in their particular class. The classes, by the way, again, are just for driver rating effectively, your driver age and experience. The cars are all identical in terms of their performance potential. So Pro-Am, and new for this year, the Masters category. And if you so desire, you can move yourself up. So if you were Pro-Am but you wanted to race in the Pros, you could. If you were a Masters and wanted to race in the Pro-Am or the Pro, you could. But you can't, if you are deemed a Pro, move back down to the Pro-Am.
Poor old Matthias Least. I mean, yesterday gets taken out the race pretty unceremoniously at turn 5. And this appears to be some sort of technical problem that's halted that Nola Sport machine. The former IndyCar driver not having a great year, unfortunately. Racing can be like that sometimes, where everything seems to conspire against you, and that seems to be happening for poor old Matthias Least at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely right. So at the front of the field, still the battle continues with Ryan Yardley just 3/4 of a second back from the leader. That's by no means a comfortable lead. But what it does do is it means he's not having to defend at every corner, Peter, and that means he's still taking pretty much the optimal racing line. So his lap times are good, and he's just put in another fastest lap of the race, and that's significant because that is points, at least a point for fastest lap.
That's a superb lap time from Tyler Maxon, a 2:09.5. That's only half a second of the lap record set by Riley Dickinson 2 years ago on quite a different spec of tyre. So you have to keep that in mind. And actually, through the middle sector, Tyler Maxon's already quicker than Luke Hartog went through that middle sector last year in the first race. So he's right on the pace right now, is Tyler Maxon. And he's pulled out a gap of 9/10 of a second over Ryan Yardley.
Jared Thomas has company down at turn number 5 in the shape of Paul Bocuse, and that is a battle for second and third in the rookies. Sounds odd calling Jared Thomas, with all of his experience in the IMSA paddock, a rookie, man who owns his own team as well, but this is his first year in Porsche Carrera Cup North America, so that's reasonable. It was the Lionhearts Porsche, wasn't it, that ran in those colours back in 97, 98. And the 911, 97 Evo, Le Mans car, World Championship running car as well.
Wonderful looking thing. I loved the very first version of it, the 993 based car.
With the round headlamps?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, a bit like this car.
Well, it was changed, of course, in 1997, 98, because the new 996 came on stream. That, as a road car, was the first of the water-cooled cars rather than the air and oil-cooled cars that the 993 became famously the last of at that point. And it also, it's liberated quite a bit of marketing money for the new shape of the car, and there was a story to be told. So relatively hastily, the front end of the car was redesigned to the 996 fried egg headlights.
Well, that was all Dr. Wiedeking, who was the boss of Porsche AG at the time, and he said if you're going to build a race car, it better look like a 911. It better be something that we can sell. And he was the one thing he always looked for was a win-win. You know, when Porsche progressed to prototype racing in the mid-2000s in the American Le Mans series with the RS Spider, that was a win-win because nobody expected it to win overall. all, but of course that was the plan all along, with it being an LMP2 car and embarrassing the rivals across, shall we say, across the corridor in the LMP1 class, and that's exactly what they did. It was that car won overall here at Road America in 2007.
Just hearing, if you're following along on livetiming.alcamelsystems.com, you might keep seeing Michael McCann drop out of position. He is in 10th position at the moment, but for some reason his timing transponder isn't being picked up at the moment in that number 8 McCann racing car. It's the bright red car that we were looking at earlier on, so we know he's there. The hard-working team at Alcamel Systems are making sure that he goes back in by doing that manually at the end of each lap. They do have a camera system on the start-finish line, so that they don't miss anything. If there is a software glitch or some hardware issues, then they can see the cars as they go across the line. Great to work with Alcamel across so many different championships now. We even had their hard-working team with us at the Imola Classic and Le Mans Classic earlier in the year. They'll be looking after us as well for our world feed stream of that. And my goodness, what a Porsche festival that was in a few of the races last weekend at Imola. Some of the predecessors of these cars and some of the ex-Le Mans cars as well, Peter. We had a ball there.
Oh, we could go through the next 18 minutes talking about them for sure. It was a great event, and just shows you how deep the history of the Porsche brand is all over the world, and particularly, here at Road America, just totally dominant. In the 1980s particularly, nobody could get close to Porsche here. This was their hunting ground, whether that be with the 935 or the 962. It was really a special era. And actually Porsche going for 3 in a row in the IMSA WeatherTech Championship here as well, winner the last 2 years. And well, all the fans of the Weissach brand will be hoping that is the case. Masters is, the Solaris Masters is very, very close, with Scott Blind, the championship leader, ahead, but with Richard Edge right behind him and Peter Atwater in there as well. That is the closest bunch together at the moment.
Yeah, that was the bright yellow and purple car from Ruckus Racing that just went across the start-finish line. Pick up a couple of other battles down the field as well, as behind some of the leaders we've got that green and white number 15 of Yves Baltas ACI, and Aaron Johnson running his signature dark red. He's run that colour in a variety of different series. That's a special wrap for this Porsche, and it looks absolutely, you think it looks good on the TV, get up close to it, looks absolutely incredible.
Passion red.
Yeah.
Coming to paint to sample. No, I don't know that. That's.
I tell you, if it did, my order's in. My order's in.
Yes, definitely. Maybe they could call it Jean-Son red.
It should be. Yeah, very good for Porsche. Well, Porsche, of course, if you want your Porsche that colour, and you can get Aaron to give you a sample of the wrap, then you provide that to Porsche, and through their DreamWorks product, effectively, there's a compound noun German word for that, which I won't trouble you with at the moment, you can have it done. I know somebody in the US who has a particular shade of, you might call purple, that was originally matched to, I believe, his wife's handbag back in the day, and he is the only person who has that colour, who's allowed to use that colour. It's not dissimilar to the old amethyst colour, but it's not the same colour. It is his colour, and he has a number of cars in that, including one of the old 4 litres when the 4 litre R came out.
This is an imperious drive from Tyler Maxson. He must have been furious after the race yesterday, having started on pole, lost all those positions early on and didn't really recover, and had to give some points away to Aaron Johnson in the Rookies Championship. Now, not only is he leading, but he's pulling away from Ryan Yardley and Riley Dickinson, who are the guys fighting for the overall championship. He was runner-up in the Mustang Challenge last year and has reasonable amount of experience in touring cars and a little bit in GT4 in the Michelin Pilot Challenge, but Tyler is a rookie, of course, this year in the 992, but you wouldn't know it. He's really doing a great job right now. 15 minutes to go. I bet he's counting every lap. I bet it feels like an age right now.
Jared Thomas holding down 6th position. Second best of the rookies, has just eased out a little bit from Paul Bocuse behind him, but can't settle here. Riley Dickinson, for once, with nothing for the cars ahead. He's only half a second behind Ryan Yardley, his nearest championship contender, and this again is going to tighten everything up at the top of the championship as we move on to the last couple of rounds. My goodness me, what a finish, what a finale to Porsche Carrera Cup North America we have, and you are going to be able to watch and listen to it all here on IMSA Radio and IMSA TV. No blocks, no breaks, no subscriptions, available for everyone. 13, call it 14 minutes to go. That's probably 6, maybe 7 laps for Tyler Maxson. 2 top racing cars, then the Kelly Moss Racing, Riley Dickinson, JDX with Zach Vanier, just another second further back from Riley. Then Jimmy Libra backing up yesterday's race. He's just put his fastest lap of the race in, 2:09.9, and closest to within a second of Zach Vanier. Then Jared Thomas ahead of a little train of cars. Looks like Jimmy Libra has just dropped a couple of Yokohamas onto the dirt there as he came through turn 3, but it hasn't slowed him down in that red, white and black car. Little bit of daylight between him, Jared Thomas, and the next 4 cars, which is Paul Bocuse, Yves Boltas in the green and white car, and Aaron Johnson. Then another little gap back behind that as they go through turn 5 and into turn 6. Then Michael McCann for McCann Racing with the recalcitrant transponder, but sitting there in 10th on my timing screen at the moment. He's 3.5 seconds away from Aaron Johnson, who has saved their tyres. Jimmy Libra, by the way, on his final warning for track limits with still 12.5 minutes to go. Who has saved some performance in the Advan 8005 Yokohama tyres? That's what I want to know. We've seen Riley Dickinson pull some amazing results out of the hat. Right now, he could do with putting a move on that black and gold car ahead of him, because if he doesn't, the championship is going to be squeaky.
Speaking of, well, yeah, Dickinson now starting to close in Ryan Yardley a little bit on this lap, only by slithers of a second, but add up the slithers and you get a bit more. And the closer you get, of course, the more chance you get of picking up a tiny bit of slipstream. I mean, these are not MX5 Cup cars. The draft is less so than those, but it does help. And Dickinson trying his best to get close to Yardley. However, Yardley steadied the ship there in the final sectors. They're so tight, 0.08 of a second in the favour of Dickinson on the last lap. Just so slim. You think that's over 4 miles.
Yeah.
4 miles, 0.08 of a second.
Just incredible. Just incredible.
Oh, and an average speed of 112 miles an hour.
Average.
Average.
Yeah. Flat 6s in the morning. Hammering under the Sargento Bridge. Leader using all of the striated part of the runoff on the exit of turn number 5, heading up the hill under that bridge and turning left-handed. And again there, just a little bit of a mistake. I think that was Aaron Johnson, it was, in the number 24, that dark passion red car. There is a Porsche colour that's not too far away from there, called Copper Ruby, I think. Oh, spin for Michael Oriyama in the other Nola Sport car. So Matthias Leist already had a problem and coming out.
I think
no, that's
wrong
not right.
With that car. No, it sounds like the clutch isn't engaging at all.
He's right on the limiter when he should be pulling away.
Is it a drive shaft, maybe?
It's at the bottom of the hill at turn 3, Peter.
It's yellow flag at turn 3, yes.
Yeah. He's not getting drive, is he? And there's something hanging down underneath it. He's on the rev limit and trying to get some forward progress there. Now the question is, where is the cutout? It's slightly uphill and then a downhill run to turn 5 where he can't get off the track.
I mean, I don't think hitting it off the limiter is a great idea there, to be honest, but...
he's done well.
Unless the throttle's stuck, but...
he's done well to get it off the track and stay green.
That's a very big sigh of relief for Tyler Maxson fans there.
Yeah.
And I can imagine his team watching thinking, no, this is the last thing we need, because Yardley had been getting closer, and in fact he's got closer again. He took a 10th out 2 laps ago, and on the last lap he took 2 tenths out. So Yardley is getting closer. The gap is down to 1.7 and 9 minutes left, but Yardley is on a charge. Can he run down Tyler Maxson here? Can Maxson hang on? But he'll be delighted that the full course caution wasn't pulled out there for that stricken Nola Sport car.
8 3/4 minutes to go. Tyler Maxson still with that 1.7 second lead. At the moment, he's got to just drive his own race. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's not, since the start, really, he's not been under pressure, in fairness.
No, if anything, in the first half of the race, he really pulled away nicely. Once we got that restart, he really got his head down and put a good gap in now. But trying to get that first win, he got his first pole, he's got that monkey off the back, but to get a first win in Porsche Carrera Cup North America competition would be a big, big step for Tyler Maxson, and that's got to be playing on your mind. And whereas Yardley, he's got the bit between his teeth, the gritty, and Antipodean, he's thinking, I've got to try and put points, as many points as I can, into Riley Dickinson. I've got to keep him under pressure. If they finished as they were, by my calculations, which are shaky at best, would get the gap down from 5 points to just 2 heading into the next round at Indianapolis.
Yeah. Tyler Maxson from Georgia, one of the Porsche drivers here that is in the junior category, so eligible to go to the Porsche Junior Shootout at the end of the season. What a prestigious honour that is to represent this series. Never had a winner of the shootout from the North American series in any of its guises. Close a couple of times. Had some very good North American Porsche drivers, but not through that route.
But look at what the former champions of this Porsche Carrera Cup North America have gone on to. Seb Preo, factory sports car driver, fully professional factory sports car driver. Kai van Berlo, you see him at the top level of GT racing all the time. Luke Hartog, see previous
Parker
comment,
Thompson.
as Dickinson's under, Parker Thompson, same thing. So if you win this championship, you often head on to very strong things indeed, as Vanier is putting Dickinson under big pressure here for 3rd place.
Yeah, little Dom's Pizza delivery on the back of Riley Dickinson's car there. I think that was a thick crust that was laid on the back of the 91 car. I'll stop that now. That's the battle for the 3rd step on the podium. And Riley Dickinson cannot afford to lose another position in terms of his championship lead. Yes, there are races to come, but he does not necessarily want to scrap all the way to the end of the season. He would have thought early on through the season it was a question of just managing that gap. But as we've said many times before, a bad finish, a bad race, a DNF or a bad weekend, that turns things around very quickly here, because the talent is deep in this championship.
And you look at, it's got to be tough for Riley Dickinson, because his low point scores haven't been within his control.
That is a very fair point, Peter.
The Watkins Glen accident took so many drivers with it. That was one of the biggest accidents we've seen. Luckily, everybody walked away okay, but a lot of damage to a lot of cars, and that hampered his progress. And in Miami, the team got a, they got a technical infraction, but you win and lose as a team at the same time. So this has got to be kind of mentally challenging for Riley, because he's thinking, I've not put a foot wrong with my driving, and that's got to be playing on his mind. It's Sabre Cook off at turn 1. Now this could throw the yellow.
4.5 minutes to go. I'm not sure we'd go back to green here. Now Sabre lost it on herself. I think the back end locked up on the JDX racing car, the Privé sponsored machine. If she can get that refired and into a gear other than first, she might be able to pull out of there. Might, with the engine over the back wheels. Yeah, she's gone into that sideways and backwards. That would suggest to me that she's just maybe locked the rears up on a downshift, or maybe taking just a tiny little bit too much in. Full course yellow is out. Now, how quickly she's trying. What do you reckon, reverse or first?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I think first or second. Slip the clutch a bit and see if you can just let it drag its way out. She's good. Oh, come on, Neely. Rock it a bit. This is like trying to get out of a rutted snow street, isn't it? Come on, Sabre. Well, we've got one of the safety trucks there very, very quickly, and I think with a toe strap on the front of that car can be brought out. The leader, Tyler Maxson, is down at the kink after Canada corner. So
I wonder if we will get a one-lap shootout here.
It's going to be tight.
The last thing in the world that Tyler Maxson wanted. He'll be thinking,
white flag now.
No, that's it.
It's over. It's over. Final lap is out. That is underway with just on 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go, and a yellow flag lap will be longer than that, so that's absolutely correct. Well, Tyler Maxson won't care that he's following in behind the Race Brew safety car. First weekend of the continued partnership with Race Brew, but the first time we've seen the Race Brew safety car. This is a livery design that was the subject of an internet competition, and it will be with us for the rest of the 2025 season. Race Brew been involved with the championship for a wee while now, but increasing its visibility literally on that safety car.
It incorporates the factory colours very nicely.
I like that.
The white, the red and the black, which all of the 3 919s from the first Le Mans of that programme, it's all incorporated in there nicely, very well. Well, thank you to Rhys White from Porsche Motorsport North America, who has confirmed my shaky mathematics, which this time has stood up to the test.
Wow.
Amazingly. Riley Dickinson, if of course we looks like we're going to finish under safety car, Riley Dickinson will lead the championship from Ryan Yardley by 2 points going into Indianapolis. You do not want to meet that brawl, you do not want to miss that brawl on the bricks. And this will be our 6th different winner in 10 races. What a championship.
Looks like we've got a guest in the safety car as well, waving to the crowds we go around. And if you're thinking, oh, I'm not really sure about having a brewery sponsoring a safety car, well, you'll notice on the luggage cover, the front end of that Race Brew safety car, 0.0%. This is not low alcohol beer, this is zero alcohol beer. And therefore, if you go out and you fancy a cold one, you take yourself a Race Brew and you can still jump into your Porsche with absolute alacrity and drive home safe in the knowledge that you're not putting anyone else or yourself at risk. So Tyler Maxson then, the rookie from Georgia for Top Racing in the Apex Capital Corporation supported car. Apex have been a long time supporter of Porsche racing in this competition and its previous iterations. Top step of the podium there with Ryan Yardley then crawling and scratching his way towards the championship lead in the TCS car in second. And he's second in the championship by just 2 points. This is all unofficial until post-race tech, of course. And our long-time championship leader, Riley Dickinson, remains in the championship lead, but by those scant 2 points for Kelly Moss Racing. And literally anything can happen at Indianapolis, the nature of that circuit. But it's Tyler Maxson that takes it here in the second race at America's National Park of Speed. Coming through to lead in Pro-Am and to win Pro-Am, JP Martinez ahead of Alan Metney, and he'll stretch his championship lead. Matty Stewart actually got between them there on the line. And in the Masters category, Scott Blind in the unmissable bright yellow, highlighter yellow Ruckus Racing with the purple on it. Here is the AM winner, with in second place Richard Edge, trailing him all the way through to half a second at the line. And in third there'll be Javier Ripoll, after not the best race for him yesterday, so that's a bit of redemption there. Just looking at Masters, by the way, it is Peter Atwater who takes the third spot on the Masters podium after his win yesterday. Just outside the top three that we talked about, Zach Van Yen, Jimmy Lieber, another top 5 finish after his win yesterday. Jared Thomas couldn't progress any further than 6th. Paul Bacuse, Yves Baltas, Aaron Johnson and Michael McCann in a scrap all the way through. And outside the top 10, Jean Chaudouin, Alexander Rhyme. There was JP winning the Pro-Am in 13th. Matty Stewart just got in between those two before the yellow flags came out. The 2 green numbered cars are our Pro-Am. And then 16th for Scott Blind, well up considering we had so much safety car. Afraid that further down the field, Matthias Leist, Michael Oriyama, Matthias Leist, Rod Walker, Todd Parriott all had issues, and Michael Di Casada was a non-starter today after his incident down at Turn 5 yesterday. Well, Peter, it's been a cracking weekend, and it sets up beautifully for that brawl on the bricks in November, as you've just talked about.
It does. I mean, this championship battle is so intriguing between Ryan Yardley, who's only had 1 win to Riley Dickinson's 4, but he's been consistent and he's just chipped away at it, and 2 points between them with 3 race weekends left. I cannot wait, but we have to say a huge well done to Tyler Maxson. He won it from the front, his first ever win in the championship. A huge congratulations.
Peter Mackay joined me, John Hindhaugh, in the IMSA Global Broadcast Centre. The flat 6 engines just ticking over at the minute as they head back after 2 stunning races here at Road America. The championship in the pro category very finely poised as Tyler Maxson has come good in the second race of the weekend. Dominated this second race, and with Ryan Yardley behind him, we go to Indianapolis with just 2 points between Riley Dickinson and Ryan Yardley for the Pro Championship. We'll see you there. Bye-bye.